Investigates is working for you tonight, looking into a big issue on Marion County ballots that for many has essentially gone nearly unnoticed.
And win or lose, they will determine the fate of a public transit project in Indianapolis. Call 6 Investigates Paris Lubell working for you, digging into what the transit referendum means for you.
Jason, Erica, good evening. It will be the public question number 2 on the Marion County ballots this year, and many believe it only has to do with the red line, but it's a common misconception. It actually has little to do with the red line at all.
Getting from point A to point B is part of our everyday lives. For some of us, it's by driving, others by bus, and for some, it's by biking or walking. And come Election Day, Indy voters will get to vote yes or no on one of Indy's biggest transit investments in recent history. But for being one of the biggest issues for Marion County voters this Election Day, do you really know what the transit referendum is really all about? For starters, it's not all about the red line. Let's start with the basics. Right now, Indianapolis is the 33rd largest region in the U.S. But when it comes to spending money on transit, we rank 86th. The transit referendum would allow the City-County Council to add up to a 0.25% income tax hike. So what's it for? Indigo says it will allow transit to expand as the city grows.
This dedicated funding is really about shoring up the rest of the Indigo system, fixing the hours of service, fixing the frequency, and helping folks get to job all day, every day. We're still running a bus system that really has its roots in the early 1970s.
Supporters say enhancing transit in Indy will boost jobs and home values.
The idea with enhancing your transit system is that you make it accessible to the thousands of individuals who depend upon transit daily that aren't able to use the system as they would normally because it's inadequate. When you invest in mass transit, for every dollar invested, you have a $3 return, an economic benefit.
While those against it say voters are asking to fund a hope and a dream.
Really, at the end of the day, it's just a bus. And the red line goes along the same route that our current bus system already goes. It's not going to be connecting people to new jobs because it's not going anywhere that the current bus system doesn't already go. It may go a little bit faster.
The red line is moving forward regardless of the outcome of the referendum. So voters really need to understand that what's on the ballot this fall is about a new dedicated funding source.
Now, the building of the phase 1 of the red line is being funded by state and federal grants, but we broke down how much the referendum will cost you. A 0.25% tax increase will mean if you make $40,000 a year, you'll have a $100 increase in taxes. Jason?